laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy. And for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend, and Satan tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end. And the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out. And when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care?
What is going on, everybody? Here we go, back with a long time coming commentary. How you guys doing tonight?
Never laugh as a
Let me actually make sure I got everything I need, so that way I can invite absolutely everybody. We drop that link in case anybody needs a way to get to the movie. Alright, there you go.
The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose.
Alright, let's see who all we got. Looks like we got Vibe, Ranger, Paris, Ultimate Gamer, Nicholas, Dark Super. Welcome, man. Looks like we got Ty in as well. Nick, Chuck, we got in as well. Nice little group, nice little group. Glad to see you guys.
On a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver starts to liquefy.
Be sure to check your messenger on Facebook. I will. Absolutely.
Sink further into hell, and the flames rise up to drag you down.
Get myself prepared for this movie. Assuming you guys are all on cast, we will be beginning here very, very, very shortly. If you guys don't know, we are watching the 1984 film Mutant. Oni is now on DVD mobile. Nice, nice, nice. I thought I saw something about that. No, I didn't see everything about you, like what you said about the Cliffhanger 2 script. Yeah, it was like going like super fast. Especially if I was like in the middle of a game too. All right. And if anybody needs that link to cast, to watch where we're playing the movie at, feel free to let me know. I do have the link up there now. I can put it in there again. Drop it for everyone. Make sure. Yeah, there we go. It's everywhere. But we're going to give it a couple minutes, let everybody sort of work their way to the stream that's going to be watching. And then we shall begin the movie. Which, has anybody seen Mutant? Because I know this is more of an obscure kind of horror movie. I don't know if there's very many people that have seen this movie yet. At least of this generation. Hey, Play, how you doing? Oh, love the blood on the screen. Yeah, I decided I was going to go back to this screen for commentaries. Because, I mean, even with the new background, like having everything back there and the blue lighting and everything, it still works very, very well. Nicholas said, I'd never even heard of it. Oh, wow. You guys are in for a treat. Especially if you're on cast watching it. Oh, you guys are in for some shit. Let me jump over to cast. See, who do we got in here so far? Godzilla has joined. Say hi, everybody. So you haven't seen Mutant in like 10 years. Really? So you've seen Mutant play. Hey, what's going on, Sebastian? How you doing? Ty says the script was mediocre. I read it, but I was like, I believe but it was like, I believe, written in 1994. And it was Die Hard and the Hoover Dam. Man, I think a lot of things were trying to copy all of Die Hard. Like, especially after that first movie. Freddy, hey Michael. You only have one knife. I have 4. Michael? Oh man. So you're 2 years older than this movie. See, I'm like a year. Meanwhile, while we are waiting for everybody to get in, do feel free to jump down below, smash the like button, drop an elbow on it. Like I've been saying, like, I mean, that like button is looking pretty pristine. You guys aren't hitting that elbow hard enough. You gotta like tap it and just like get in there. Also, don't forget to share. If you want other friends to come in, like you got friends that you want to share the stream with, make sure to do that. That's the best way to do it. Let's keep Camp Juicy growing. To get the same age as Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Oh, shit. When the fuck did that come out? That was like mid-90s? Play ass. I don't know if you answered this question, but what are your thoughts on the new Batman trailer? I like it. I really like it. Has a nice horror tone to it. Sort of like I know Seven's been kicked around as like how it feels. Definitely has that vibe. And the Batman comics are horror centric. Like, I mean, we're dealing with serial killers, mutated monsters, and all kinds of shit that are just ripping people apart. So, I mean, this should be a match made in heaven if they go all the way. And just that fight scene, not even a fight scene, just the beatdown that Batman gave that guy. I guess it was a Joker goon or something like that. Just the beatdown that he gave him is what kind of perked me up. Like, oh, wait, no, what the hell? And I'm a huge proponent of Ben Affleck's Batman. I love Ben Affleck's Batman, and I hope that we get to see more. I know we're getting him in the Flash movie, but holy shit, man. I wasn't very high on the Batman after seeing the suit because I'm still not a big fan of the suit. But from what I understand, he's getting a new suit during the movie, and ultimately, the tone I feel like they just got perfect. Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out in 1994. I thought it was mid-90s. Sebastian says, I just watched Strangeland with Dee Snider. It's been a while since I watched Strangeland. What trailer did you not like at all, but then you loved the movie? Trailer would that be? I can't think of anything off the top of my head where there was a trailer that I didn't like, but then I went to go watch the movie. I can't think of anything off the top of my head because I'm still thinking like, because maybe it was something I watched on, maybe it might have been something I watched later on Blu-ray or something like that. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Most of the things, if I've seen the trailer for it and I'm pumped enough to watch it, then chances are the trailer got me interested in one way or another. Nick says, still like the 89 Batsuit better. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do. A lot of people love that 89 Batsuit, which we absolutely may get to see in the Flash movie, because the Flash movie is supposed to have Michael Keaton's Batman coming back as well as Ben Affleck's Batman. So it's going to be sort of like Crisis type situation. We're going to be getting both of them. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to go all out and just bring Christian Bale back too. And now Robert Pattinson. Like, I mean, we get all four of them in. Like, holy shit, man. Who knows what's going to end up happening with the Batman character? What's going on? Gabe said this is a weird flick. Agreed. It's so obscure too. I can't wait to let a lot of people watch it that have not seen it. Yeah, it does kind of look like motocross and military gear put together when you look at it. Ty says, sometimes I feel though there are some fans that if we saw Batman taking a dump and that was the trailer, fans would just love it. No. I mean, maybe there might be some. I mean, I can't say full on no, but me as a massive Batman fan that has his own suit, and I know you got to hit the tones right. You got to hit the tones just right. What's going on, Joseph? How you doing? Say you love the new theory video. Thank you. That's just part one. Wait till I get to the second part of that theory video. That's going to involve a lot of involvement of Freddy's Dead. Like, you're going to love it and how it all connects to that first part of the theory. What's going on, Rattle Them Bones? How you doing over there on Twitch as well? Oh, I'm doing good, Jonathan. I'm doing good. How are you doing? So I said my friend Shade said hi. Well, hello, Shade. Those would be the same fans, Ty, that probably on the hub, like looking at Batman porn too. Oh man. It's like, this should have been in the theater. It's like, no, calm down. This summer, get ready for first, the only Bat Dump coming to a theater nowhere near you. So you're doing good, right on the bones. Nice, man. Good to hear. Jonathan said, so far, so good, JG. Went on a bike ride and just chilling today. As am I. Amanda gets to go into her surgery tomorrow. So, doing this quick stream while she's sleeping upstairs now. Did pretty much all the preparations and everything. Like, got her all set. And then just hoping for the best. Come on, JG. We know you've seen that Not Batman XXX for research, right? Yeah, I seen it. I've watched it. I am fucking soaked in resin dust. I've been there. That's just like sand, man. It gets into cracks. I mean, granted, you're not supposed to be doing that where can get cracks, but you know, some of us do things a little differently. Nick says all the Batman movies after Return isn't worth watching. For the Schumacher universe, yeah, absolutely. Like Batman Return, not Batman, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, absolutely terrible. However, Batman Begins, Batman, the Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, I enjoy all of them because I've read those comics and I know the inspiration behind those stories. So for me, I love picking out those little things. That's what I love so much about Batman vs Superman. There were so many references to multiple comic arcs that went on in that movie that if you're not a comic book fan, you're just like, what the fuck is that? Like, why? What is this? Like, what the hell is happening? And for me, I'm just like, I know that. That's from this. That's from this issue. Like, it's certain things like that that got me really excited. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? So we have to wait in 6 years to get a Spider-Man crossover? Possibly, at the very least. Because you figure, as I said when you messaged me before, in order to get a crossover with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, first you got to complete the current Spider-Man arc. You got to complete that. Otherwise, the story is going to be extremely difficult to pull off. Let alone like how the last movie ended, let alone having 3 Spider-Men running around. Like, that's going to be extremely difficult. Then by the time you finish that, because I don't even know if they're even remotely in production for a new Spider-Man film yet with Tom Holland. So once you finish that, which is going to take a year or two of production, post-production, and so forth, you get that movie out. Then if you do sort of a live action Into the Spider-Verse kind of movie with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire all coming back, then you're going to have to write the script. You're going to have to figure out how you're going to incorporate it into the MCU. And then ultimately you're going to have to go into production, editing, all of that. But before you even do that, you got to get Andrew Garfield, who I think you may be good with, because I think he may have one appearance in his contract as Spider-Man. So you might be good there. Tobey Maguire is a completely different story. You would have to lock down Tobey Maguire to actually do that role. If not, then you might just be able to do it with Andrew Garfield, but is a missed opportunity if you can't get Tobey Maguire back, considering that The Flash is getting Michael Keaton back as his 1989 Batman, which, judging from the art that we saw from DC fandom, he's going to be wearing the 89 suit. So you're going to have that to compete with. But yeah, I would put it at the very least, you're looking at like 6 years before that even remotely happens. Ty says, does anybody remember the TV movies that they did? And they also did the TV show The Librarian. I remember The Librarian. I never watched it, but I remember hearing about The Librarian. Jonathan says, have you seen the new comic, Three Jokers? I have. My copy is actually coming of that. Like, I had to get a copy of that. I'm very interested to see where they're going with that storyline. I just remember bat nipples. Rattle the Bone says, I'm so excited for the Batman. It looks so gritty. I hope they stay the course. I hope they don't peel back from showing how dark that universe can actually be. But from what it looks like, it's going to be a serial killer Riddler, I guess you could probably say. A serial killer Riddler that's murdering all these people, and Batman's going to have to figure out who's the next victim, who the killer is, and so forth. So I kind of like where they're going with the Riddler character. Oh, I know, Jonathan. I know. I've already been on Comics Explained and Comic Storian just to listen to see what that story's about. Is the Batman going to be rated R? We don't know yet. It's only 25% shot. If anything, from what they showed at DC Fandom, they definitely need to stay the course. They definitely need to stay the course, and if it calls for an R rating, give it an R rating. Riddler's outfit looks like the Zodiac Killer. Yeah, it does. Although I've heard some things even saying that it might not even be the Riddler, or it could be what they did in one of their animated movies where they are fusing two Batman villains together, where it's the Riddler and Hush together. Oh, Vibe's working on a Star-Lord cosplay. Really, Vibe? Man, you got to share that. You got to share it whenever you get done, man. You got to share that. Like, right in the Discord. So Rush, maybe. Like, rush and figure out my shit. All right, I'm going to drop the link to cast for you guys one more time, and then we'll give the countdown, and we'll get into the movie. So let me actually turn off my volume here. For those new that have not been a part of these as of recently, for me actually playing the movie for you, the link that should be popping up on your screen right now is the link to the cast. It's like their site, or you can download it. I'll be playing the movie through there while giving my commentary through YouTube. So if you're watching on a PC, it's definitely helpful to have both windows open. If you're watching on a phone, not so helpful, because I don't know of many phones that can do the two windows at the same time. But you are more than welcome to either watch the movie or watch me at that point. And then if you can find a copy of the movie, which is very rare because it's hard to fucking find. My copy even looks like I ripped it off of VHS. But yeah, like pretty much you could always come back. We're going to give a countdown to sync everything up, and then you can just move forward. Rattle the Bone says, I really hope they don't combine Hush and Riddler. It ruined that animated movie for me. Me too. Absolutely, me too. Because the Riddler being Hush destroys the Hush character. Because for anybody that doesn't know who Hush is connected to the Wayne family. Think of them as the polar opposite of Bruce Wayne, where Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered and he becomes Batman. Hush murders his parents to become Hush. Like everything that Bruce is, Hush is the opposite. Ty says, what are really cool teams announced at non-Comic-Con? There's going to be a new John Carter book, first one in 56 years. I haven't heard of one for John Carter, actually. But I mean, granted, this wasn't a Comic-Con. This was just straight up DC, like all of their shit. Like from Black Adam coming out, Wonder Woman 84, the Suicide Squad, the Snyder cut of Justice League, which looks really good with some of its extra footage. Like, I'm very interested. Like 4 hours of material. That's going to be insane. I can't wait to see it. And plus the video games. The video games I was underwhelmed with. Granted, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. There's some questions I have with that because that's supposed to be tied to the Arkhamverse, but I have some questions, especially when we're talking about Deadshot. So I'm not sure how that's working. But the Gotham Knights looks like they ripped the Arkham engine and just kind of shat on it. Like, it doesn't look that appealing. Oh, we haven't done anything yet, Ultimate Gamer. We're getting ready to get started. Again, if you guys need the link to cast before we get started, let me know. Ty says, I'm just worried that Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be like Tony Stark is to Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. I just get that feeling. I'm not sure. I think it's actually going to be something different with that. I think Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be that kind of character to the Flash. Like, I like, especially for everyone, I think Michael Keaton's Batman is ultimately just there to set up Batman Beyond. That's what I'm thinking in his own universe. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we're going to end up going back to the Tim Burton universe because I believe their whole idea, at least from what I heard, I don't know how concrete it is. Their whole idea with Michael Keaton is to retcon Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. They want Batman and Batman Returns to be the only Batman movies canon because the other two, while supposed to be connected to that universe, first shat on the universe that Tim Burton created and then destroyed the tone, like, completely. So they want to go back to Michael Keaton's Batman, make it where he's been active ever since Batman Returns, and ultimately lead into a Batman Beyond. That's the hopes. That is definitely the hopes of it. Robert says they're never going to make a new Spawn movie. They should make a new Spawn movie, and they should take a horror route with it. I just don't know if anybody's actually going. I mean, because Todd McFarlane's been talking about it for fucking ever. And I think they even went as far as to cast Jamie Foxx as Spawn, which is a fairly decent casting. But ultimately, who knows if it'll ever get made. Jonathan says, oh, weird thing I saw this weekend, JG. Some unmade Toho fan film made by the guys from Toho called The Wolfman vs. Godzilla. They made it in '83 with over 10 hours of stored away footage. You might need to send that to me. I might need to see that, Jonathan. Jonathan also says, I'm looking forward to the Suicide Squad, JG. Arms Fall Off Boy seems like a great hero. Yeah. Like, it's going to, from the characters they showed you, I have a feeling I know who's going to survive the Suicide Squad movie. And it's going to look very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I'm thinking. Ultimate Gamer says, JG, you should watch Sonny Fernandez. He makes some good animations. Well, if you got any recommendations, feel free to drop them in the Discord, especially the new video discussions. Like, I'll definitely check them out. Rattle Them Bone says, Gotham Knights is their Avengers game cash grab. And yeah, Suicide Squad is a bit confusing if it really is in the Arkhamverse. Supposedly it is. From what I heard, one of the developers, even from Rocksteady, has said that it is in the Arkhamverse. Now, I'm not sure if this Deadshot is a different Deadshot, but I'd have to watch the trailer again to see if they say his name is like Floyd Lawton. But it's a bit confusing. Everything else is fine. It's just a bit confusing as far as like Deadshot goes. Said Tobey Maguire still wants to come back as Spider-Man. Just wanting to come back isn't enough. Like they got to work out some hard numbers. Ty says, I'm working on an Indiana Jones cosplay. I have to wait till the bank account kind of likes me. Crossing fingers, second stimulus check comes. That's a good thing. Like I have like the hat I use, Ty, for my Freddy costume is an Indiana Jones hat. I just chopped the brim down a little bit just Monday. I set fire to the thing. So now it looks more Freddy-ish. But it still has the Indiana Jones tag on the inside. Halloween, the Blackest Eyes. Definitely, Ultimate Gamer, like drop that. Drop that in the Discord, please, if you're not already a part of it. Nicholas says, I've heard the Wolfman vs. Godzilla movie also, and I believe there's some scenes that were made. Vibe says, by the way, got any suggestions on what I should use to make a Star-Lord mask? I know a lot of people start using cardboard as a base. At least from what I remember. Cardboard, or use card stock and then use some fiberglass, like a fiberglass layer over it to harden it. And then like sand it down smooth. Robert says, you think we'll ever see Azrael in a Batman movie? I think eventually. I would be surprised. Now, here's the thing. I think that if they go for Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton's Batman going forward, I think with Beyond, they're going to end up doing it where possibly new version of Azrael is going to fight against Terry McGinnis. That's what I think is going to end up happening. Or eventually this Matt Reeves Batman trilogy could lead up to Azrael as well. So I think, yeah, absolutely. Especially since we already seen Azrael in Gotham. Rattled and Bone said they called him Floyd. Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird considering what Floyd Lawton looks like in the other Arkham games. I mean, unless he went to maybe the doll maker and had his identity changed, or even Hush and had his identity changed. Hey, Antonis, how you doing? Ultimate Gamer says it's on YouTube. Yeah, I know it's on YouTube. I just need you to drop the link in the Discord so that way I can come back to it after the stream. Antonis says, is Mutant a horror movie? Yes. It is essentially a monster/zombie movie. But all right, we've been chatting away here for a little bit over 35 minutes. It's time to get into the movie. But before I start, does anybody else need the cast link to get to the movie? Jonathan says, I think a good character for Batman Beyond could be perhaps Joker's daughter. True. Joker's daughter could be a really good fit, actually. Because could you imagine if they switch some shit up where Dana becomes the Joker's daughter? Where they flip some shit up where his girl that he's in love with becomes the villain? And it kind of makes him apprehensive, and you got Batman pretty much chastising him, like, you got to do what's necessary. Oh, you got to go, Ultimate Gamer. I will see you in the next one, man. You have a good night, and you stay safe out there. All right. Let's see here. Make sure we are all good, up and running. And meanwhile, like I said, you guys make sure you are dropping those like buttons to make sure that I stay in your notifications inbox. Make sure that bell is ticked. Constantly make sure that you're subscribed, because I've been hearing I've been hearing YouTube's been unsubscribing people, so you never know. You absolutely never know. That being said, we are going to begin. I'm going to drop the link one more time for everyone to be able to watch the movie with me. And we will now begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Of course, let me know if you are in the cast channel. Let me know if you guys can hear it, so that way I can change it up for you. Fucking progress made, finally. For a second there, Paris, I thought you were talking about me starting the movie. So you don't hear anything? I figured as much. How about now? You guys hear it? There we go. I know, so it's like hard because I can't hear through cast, so I have to very much depend on the viewers for that, just in case. Oh, at least like you're getting there, Paris. You're making some progress with it. Like, it's been a while since I watched this too, so this is definitely a bit of a treat. Nice, Paris. Very nice. I can't remember. Is that the monster? I mean, it has to be, obviously, because he like burned the fuck out of him. Oh shit, that sounds cool as shit, Ty. Like I said, man, you got to shoot me some pictures once you're done with it. I remember. I remember that, Jonathan. That's what kind of led me to that idea. That's a good way to do it, Ty. Like stay in the era. An encounter with death is like an encounter with life. Really? Like, I mean, is that a thing that people do? Like, as far as, for shits and giggles, when you drive into the country, you decide to try to run someone off the fucking road? Yeah, I get what you mean, Ty. Like, I mean, is that supposed to be like fun and games? Fucking run their car off the road, going into fucking shit like water and shit that destroys their engine. Like, what the fuck? Well, yeah, JG, how do you have fun in the country? I guess. It has a, I realized watching this, it has a kind of Salem's Lot kind of look to it. And nothing screams wholesome, country, fun, like possible vehicular manslaughter. I suppose. Ty says, when I get it, you know you can't really do everything with the fan film, but I think you should make an effort to not have that stuff. Of course, maybe that's just the perfectionist. Oh yeah, there's definitely ways to do it. Like if you need driving or anything like that, you can always get stock footage. You never have to show the car when shooting. Like you can show maybe the just front of it. It's all like camera tricks that you could do with that. Like you never, there's always a workaround one way or another, especially the way you cut it. Somebody who grew up on a farm who lived in the country, and you walk to your friend's house, you'd be surprised how many drunk assholes there are who like to run you off. I wouldn't doubt it. I honestly wouldn't doubt it. But it's like trying to run you off and then knocking into your car, trying to run you off the road. Like it's like an everyday thing. That's already setting a tone for the town that, you know what, I'm not fucking coming there. T-Rex, damn, I didn't know that you were watching The Blight as a horror movie. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, T-Rex. Which I'm gonna drop that link again. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? Or Victoria, how are you doing? Like, even if they film in a building, like, let's say they use the library just looks too modern. And there's still a workaround for that, too. Like, for the exterior, like, you can always use a still image and you never have to show anything, like as far as like people moving on that still. You just have to add like sound and shit like that, or even again stock footage. But the interior is where you would have to actually film. See, I lived in a similar area to that, Jonathan. Like way back when I was a lot younger. Which is like pretty much, I think the craziest thing we've had was the fucking pigs got 3 from their pen, which you never realize how volatile pigs can actually be. Like full grown fucking giant ass fucking pigs. Motherfuckers would chase you to school. Like fucking dogs. Rabid dogs. Like I believe one even chased my cousin up a tree. So it's like, is the acid what infects them? Like the virus? Because that's what it kind of seems. Oh yeah, I mean, my thing is like if you're shooting a fan film and you're limited as far as location, it may do best to do something like that as far as cost cutting and just peace of mind to try to keep it authentic. We're trying to find a Sony Walkman is hard. I bet, especially after Guardians of the Galaxy, you're going to be a very hard press. Professor P, that would be really cool, Robert. Professor Pig, like his whole like story arc would be fucking at home with the Batman vibe. So you think you're calling it quits on the glove tonight? Man, you got to show me some pictures of the progress if you're doing all that. I loved how the mask looks though. Like before you even touched anything on it, I love how that looks. So you found a few, but they were about $200. I bet. I really bet. I mean, I wouldn't really get it unless I'm going to be cosplaying that for a while. But who am I to say? I literally, my Freddy mask in hand is like $800. My new Freddy sweater was close to $200. My glove from Trick or Treat Studios I paid like $160 for. That's just on Freddy alone. That's not including the hat, which was like $40. The contact lenses that I have, which are like $30-$40 each. That's not including the pants, the boots, Ghostface. Just the robe alone was $300. So I mean, if you want something that looks good, chances are you're going to have to pay a pretty penny. But something like that for a prop, unless you're going to really take care of it and it also doubles as something for a display, as most of my costumes do, I would definitely consider it. So you'll buy a Freddy glove soon, Antonis. Any specific buyers you getting it from? Ty says, I mean, because I'm kind of working on an Indiana Jones script. I don't know if it's going to be a fan film because it's a little ambitious. As Hollow Earth is what I'm working on. This might just be a, it might just be a fun. I mean, you never know. Because it could be one of those things you can film little bits here and there as time goes on. And like, who knows, maybe in like 2-3 years, you put the whole thing together. I mean, outside of aging, like, and like, so I hope you take into consideration also name the second channel JG Part 2, the sequel, Part 2. I've been taking some considerations for the second channel. Although I think before I do a lot of what I intend to do with the second YouTube channel, I do intend to work on some shit for Twitch first, especially once I gain affiliate status on Twitch. I definitely check it out, Jonathan. Like, I can't wait to check that out. Oh, if that's the case, Vibe, I'd wait then. I'd definitely wait to get it. If they're getting posted every now and again for like $45, I'd wait to get it. Because they're going to come up again. Work on everything else prior. If you're going to spend $200, at least spend $200 on the helmet. Yeah, nobody wants to see a fat guy play Indiana Jones. Why not? I mean, you could always play like an alternative version, like if you wanted to. And like just because you're chunky doesn't mean that you can't be an adventurer. So I might buy a Freddy glove from Dark Dream Designs. It's the remake glove called the Sandman. It's $685 plus shipping and tax. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, the price for that is a bit more extensive than some, but I mean, I've seen how much Freddy gloves go for, especially remake gloves. Seth Rogen is Indiana Jones. So the only thing I don't need to worry about are the boots. JG Part 2, Return to Camp Juicy. Which Freddy glove did I buy? I bought the Part 2. Which, from what I've seen as far as reviews, the Part 1 and Part 2 are fairly close in appearance, almost identical. Part 2, the juicening. Check my messenger. I'll check it real quick. Nice, 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 Paris. Very nice. Check Nick as well. Oh my. Not bad, Nick. I saw what you wrote. I'm definitely got to take some time to read all that, though. What is this? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've watched way too many movies. I'm very much not willing to just trust people that quickly. Especially with the whole like southern accent, I instantly think that fucking like there's some shit getting ready to go down at some point. I mean, I know she doesn't do anything to him, but I'm like kind of waking. I'm kind of thinking like, you know, you might wake up tied to a bed on some fucking Misery type shit. Yes, yes, I did. Ranger. Probably the same one you saw on there. It's like Click Clack or something like that. Like their name on there. Sweater is great. The sweater is phenomenal. I was like thinking, I thought I had something else to possibly show you guys. Which one of the sweaters for the remake look? I'd probably go with I think part 3 would do. That or put a picture up of the remake, and from what I've seen of their sweaters, all their sweaters are pretty fucking accurate. Even mine, I got a part 2 sweater, so it looks pretty fucking accurate to the film. So I would probably look at the remake, look at the stripe pattern, and look at the older movies to see which one of those stripe patterns match closest, and just go that route. That seems to be the best route that you can probably go. Oh, you have a good night, bud. But you never know. Tonight might be one of those nights you see me jump back on stream for a very late night. Considering Amanda's going to likely be sleeping most of the night. So if that happens, don't be surprised to see me playing DBD. I will, Ranger. I will. Except the remake. Well, I know what not to find this sweater. It's the remake sweater. It is a bit more difficult to find because I mean most people just will grab like maybe a part 2, 3, or 4 sweater, even part 5 if they have it, and just weather it into the remake. But the remake does have some subtle differences as far as like the stripe pattern. All the sweaters really do. Which reminds me, at some point, next time I do some more Freddy TikToks and stuff like that, because I've been having fun doing those. Those have been awesome to do. Which is funny because I would have never thought I would have had as much fun doing those on that app. I do so at some point. I gotta incorporate the Necronomicon in there. Which, Ty, were you here when I had the Necronomicon out? I don't know if you were here when I think you might have been here before I altered it. But I don't know if you were here when I weathered it. And again, Ranger, I will let Amanda know that you wish her luck. Definitely trying to give her some positive vibes going into surgery tomorrow. Was lurking like the NSA. we always like the lurking. Oh shit. Okay, but question though. If their whole job is to not job, but their whole purpose is they're spreading their infection, why the fuck did it go? Okay, it was in the basement. Okay. I was thinking like the monster or zombie or whatever it is, it gets into the room and hides under the bed. That's not necessarily like going off instinct. That's like premeditated planning. Yeah, there was a monster under the bed. Essentially, but it looked like there's a trap door under the bed as well. Because if I remember right, doesn't she have family in the basement that she's kind of feeding people to? Oh no, I don't care about political jokes, Ty. Never cared about political jokes. It's political talk I don't like. Like where people are asking, okay, what party are you from? Or what party do you subscribe to? Your ideology and who you voting for and shit like that. That kind of shit I don't like because that's super, it gets super toxic between people and we want to keep things as chill as possible. But you can make any joke that you want as far as political wise. I don't care if you make jokes about Trump. I don't care if you make jokes about Biden. I don't care who the fuck you make jokes about. Like political sense or anything like that. Just I don't want the political debate to happen. Click clack knits. I knew it was something like that. But yeah, definitely they're great to work with. Trump is the first orange president. You ain't lying. Funny thing though, like I think of whenever someone says that, like I think of Larfleeze from fucking the Green Lantern comics, like Agent Orange, I think they call them. And that's instantly where my mind goes. Which I love Larfleeze. I love Larfleeze. I want the Green Lantern animated series to come back just so I can get Larfleeze back. Oh, nice, Paris. Very nice. Does that make Biden the Apple president if he wins? It could very well may. I mean, to me, I kind of look at Biden like I think Mr. Magoo, like something like that. I don't know why. Doesn't look anything like fucking what was it? When Leslie Nielsen played him? That is who played him, right? Like I instantly think that when I see Biden. So essentially, for the election, we got Agent Orange versus Mr. Magoo. See, I thought it was Leslie Nielsen that played him. I mean, if that's not a come on, I don't know what the fuck is. You got the hair flipping and everything. An orange with Trump hair on top. Now that makes me think of what was it? Annoying Orange, just with a hair piece on. No, I didn't hear about that, Ty. 10-year-olds did for 8 years for Raiders of the Lost Ark. I didn't hear about that. All right, so the blood, what looks to be acid, is kind of the virus. So there's a documentary on Netflix about it. It's called Raiders. It's pretty easy to sign. Look for the Indiana Jones theme called Raiders. That isn't the one of the movies. I think I might have seen it on there. That sounds familiar. So watching this, it kind of made me jealous of these kids slightly because I never had as many opportunities as they did as filmmakers. And this was in the 80s. My family grew up very poor. We cannot afford cameras. It's at least expensive ones that I could borrow for film. Oh yeah, I mean, most filmmakers in the 80s and 90s that weren't attached to money. I mean, fucking look at what Kevin Smith did in the 90s to even get any films made. I mean, for a lot of people, it was all or nothing. JG, would you trust the town if everybody in it was nice to you and smiling? Or would you think that they're trying to hide something? I'd be very suspicious because I'm very suspicious of everyone. But I'm also a very good judge of character as well. So if I talk to you for, especially in person, for a couple of minutes, I can get a good read on you on who you actually are, even if you're actually trying to hide it. Which makes it good, like when you're dealing with really shitty people on a constant basis, because you tend to get, at least in my stance, I tend to get a sense of how people are going to act and how they're going to react, and they become, if not anything, very predictable. Yeah, exactly, Ty. Like sometimes you gotta, like if you want something to get done, sometimes you gotta sacrifice. But now, as Kevin Smith has even said, literally, your phone, your phone holds more tech in it to make a movie than an entire production in 1970s and 80s. So just from your phone alone, just shooting, especially I have a Galaxy S10e, and this thing, like once you start shooting on it, you can fucking make a movie with this shit. And then because I have editing software, all I have to do is come back with all the footage and cut it together, add music, try to set a pace for it. It's slightly easier to raise money now for a film, but the only thing I don't like about Kickstarter and GoFundMe is that the project didn't go through because of whatever. You look like a jerk. Not necessarily, because with people that fund you on there, if it doesn't go through, then you have the option to refund the money. So, I mean, there's always that. Ranger says horror movies prime you for the real world. Don't go into strange house, never go off alone. Very true. Very true. The whole point of horror movies are to not only suspend reality, but also to think of situations that would normally scare you and bring those fears to life. Yeah, you could use Patreon. Absolutely. Patreon, though. Patreon is good if you're giving any kind of reward. Which, I mean, I guess for anything like GoFundMe and stuff like that, you would want to do a reward-based kind of thing. Like if you're making a movie, you're giving away some props and shit like that. But, I mean, there's also like GoFundMe's. Like, if you want this movie to be made, I have a great idea. You get up enough money to create a teaser, and then you go from there. And if you get enough funding, you fucking go for it. If you don't, then pretty much give the people their money back. That, or take the money that you got and cut things from your original vision to make it fit within the budget. Or make the budget work if you can do the full length. Like if you're asking for like 10 grand to make a 15-minute like movie, 20-minute movie, then fucking, and you only get like 5 grand. I mean, you could turn it into a 5 to 10 minute movie, but people are still going to want the 15 to 20 minutes. So at that point, you got to get kind of creative with certain things to get what you need. Said this movie kind of reminds me of Kindred. Yeah, I got that feeling too. I got that feeling. So you wonder if Cash App could work to fund a film. It could, but I would probably look into it because most people are less willing to fund something that possibly doesn't offer them buyer protection. So like if you're offering like certain rewards and shit, I think it was like, because wasn't there something, if Paris is still in the room, wasn't there something with an Evil Dead board game where people got ripped off over that shit? I thought I remembered hearing something about that with a Evil Dead. That could be the porn, but Evil Dead board game. Although, not gonna lie, Evil Bed sounds like it could be fun. I would direct it. I'd write it too. Instead of the Necronomicon book, there's a mattress stuffed with the pages of the Necronomicon. Hey, Machete, what's going on? So they took the money and ran because their complaint went bankrupt. See, that's the shit. What did they go through? Did they go through like GoFundMe or Kickstarter? See, that's nice that someone picked it back up and fucking is running with the baton. Kickstarter? See, now with Kickstarter, because I haven't done anything through Kickstarter. I haven't done anything through any of the actual like funding shit like that. So my thing is like, isn't there an option where people automatically get refunded if you don't hit the goal that you need? Or do you have to manually go in and tick that? Or manually go in and give people their money back? See, I'm thinking, Ty, if you're going to do it like that, the moment you lay on the mattress, fucking, you get possessed by a deadite. But not the whole body. There's only one area that would be possessed. Yeah. That's right, I said it. Demon penis from Evil Bed. Oh, man. And because it would be done independently, you probably be able to show everything. Like, I mean, put eyes on it. Have it talking. So weird. Oh my gosh. Who's laughing now? I'm just thinking of like, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. See, now my mind's going certain areas. Could you imagine oral? Like the fucking thing in like someone's mouth, like like that shit kind of just writes itself. Oh man, he looks all fucking burnt up. Now, like when he fell, did he fall because of the sheer strength of the guy, or did he fall because he was scared? Because it kind of felt like he got tripped. Oh, he definitely could. He definitely could, Brenda. Or I keep saying Victoria. You know what? We're just gonna call you Vicky. Especially when you look at Nightmare 3, when he does the Joey as the nurse. There's some kind of hentai shit going on there, especially with the tongues. Can you imagine an amputated penis running around? That would be fucking hilarious. You imagine not just the penis, but the testicles too? So it's using the testicles sort of like, it's like running like that. Oh, no, we're saving that second part, Ty, for the sequel. Like that second part comes after the penis has been destroyed, and then we have what was it? What they call it in the movie? Teeth? Vagina dentata or some shit like that, where the girl's vagina had like teeth in it, and like where the guy like forces himself on her, and she clamps down, and it bites his penis off, and then she just opens up and it falls out, and their dog like comes up and eats it. The evil bed. It was stitched together by the Dark Ones. The mattress of the dead. I mean, this was the 80s. I pick on outsiders. I mean, it happens like that. Pillow talk of the dead. Not gonna lie, I liked the younger brother actor better than him. Like, to me, the younger brother had a little bit more likability to him. Like, with him, it just kind of feels like there's some kind of character trait missing that is just like, The third installment, Possessed Boobs. Yes. Imagine both of them turning like Henrietta type heads. Possessed anus. Like Evil Bed 4. You're in some deep shit now. So wouldn't that mean he's infected? There's no way you're getting a studio to make that movie. Oh, absolutely not. There's absolutely no way. You go in to even pitch it, you're likely to be arrested. The moment you start talking about a possessed penis, like, that's likely to happen. I mean, why wouldn't people like the idea of Indiana Jones like hunting down Pandora's box? Like, I mean, it would kind of seem like it's like right up his alley. It's too mystical. I mean, didn't they see like the Holy Grail shit and the mystical properties of that? Like Pandora's box, granted, it's a step up, but as far as like mystical scale, but still, like, it would be completely up that alley, like, of that series. Why must the good die young? Hey, welcome back, Cat. Pretty much, Ranger. It's like, look, think of it, a possessed penis. Oh yeah, just clicking the button. Oh yeah, keep going on. Security. Like, I don't know, JG, Full Moon has done some weird stuff before. Have you watched their like zombie movie where they took, what was it, City of the Dead, and added some like some new scenes to it and called it their own movie? Oh, look at the mutation. That looks creepy as shit. Oh. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Like, look at the change. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I can't remember if she gets out alive or not. Like, don't throw it on the floor. Throw it at him. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Come on. Get the fuck out. Oh, he got her. Yeah, she's done. So I'm wondering, like, they said the light bulbs were all taken out of the house. So, I mean, do the lights hurt these creatures? Like I said, it's been a while since I've watched it. I just have a few specific scenes that stay in my head. Hey, what's going on, Kaiden? How you doing? Because I mean, it kind of looks like the movie, not the movie, the TV show, the King, not the Kingdom, but Kingdom itself. Kind of took a few cues from this. Of course, Kingdom did it better. Cast is essentially a streaming site, Kaiden, where like right now we're doing a commentary for the movie Mutant. Cast allows you to watch the movie because I'm providing the movie for you guys to watch. That is the site that you would have to go through. I believe you can either go through the actual site through your browser, or you can download the app, and it takes you, it pretty much invites you to the room that I'm streaming the movie through. I'm pretty sure by the time I get around to it, Ty, Disney will have it taken all. Hey, what's going on, Deb? How you doing? Oh, Samara Weaving is in Bill and Ted 3. Oh, shit, I didn't even know that. Now, I have to, in order for me to get psyched about Bill and Ted 3, I got to watch the first two again. It's been decades since I watched that. Seemingly. Probably not as long, but you know what I mean. What's this movie about? It's essentially a mixture of monster movie and zombies. Like, they're not exactly biting you, but they secrete like an acid that comes out through their hand that burns the fuck out of you. And the acid sort of acts as a chemical agent that infects you. I'm going with Samara Weaving, Ty. Like, I like her better than Margot Robbie. Yeah, I know, Jonathan. It's like, you were right there. Throw it at him. They look a lot alike, especially in the face, but I think they're kind of, they're built a little differently. Although Samara Weaving does have that that horror pedigree, so I mean that could be what brings me closer to her. Oh shit. Like one move and it'd be your last, but you tell them to like turn over. I mean, I have no doubt eventually she probably will. But with most of them, like most girls like Samara Weaving, they're probably going to milk that until they absolutely have to. It's like building suspense in a movie, especially when you're in horror. It's like come fucking barging in there with the car. Like they got guns and shit. They should have lit that shit straight up. Ooh. Shit sprayed him in the ass, it looks like. So you've been playing Dead Space 3. It's really good. All the Dead Space games are amazingly good. So these zombies don't bite? Don't bite? No. At least not that I've seen. It's like when they grab you, the acid sort of secretes and you see the steam and everything. But the acid itself, it contains, as the doctor said earlier in the film, it contains some kind of chemical. And it also, through that same cavity, that it pretty much also sucks blood from the body. Think of it as how a fly eats, where a fly vomits on something with its stomach acid, dissolves it, and then slurps it back up. Dracula versus the monster. I'm pretty sure there's got to be someone somewhere that's done that, just not very well. But I'm sure like someone will end up doing it eventually. Especially because if they're doing public domain stuff, then they can make money off of it. But I think most people like Vincente DeSanti and stuff like that, they don't really touch that just because they want something more current with pop culture that will help get their name. I mean, look at Vincente DeSanti. After Never Hike Alone, his name is going to be etched in the halls of Friday the 13th forever. Like, even when he starts doing like other films, because you know he's going to be tapped for a Hollywood film at some point. Like, it's going to be because of Never Hike Alone that he gets that kind of praise. So are these undead? They're undead. Yes. Because it's like when they get infected, they die and then they come back afterwards. Their body mutates. And look at the bubble effects under the skin. Which I can't remember. Are you on cast, Devin? Here, I'll drop the link again. Have I seen The Strangers? Yes, I've seen the first and second one. Headshots? I don't know. Nobody's shot them yet. Yeah, Dracula versus... yeah, I mean... I remember something a while back that someone said, like, when you put verses in the title of something, it's an immediate turn off for some people. Like, even Freddy versus Jason should have probably been called something else. Where can you find the film? It is on Cast. I am playing it on there. It's incredibly hard to find. Say Cast doesn't work for you for some reason? Oh, that sucks. I wonder. I mean, I don't know if you have Amazon Prime, though. That would be the kicker. What would I title it? I mean... Because, I mean, I would have to look at it, what the story's about. I mean, ultimately, we know we're going to get the fight between the two. But ultimately, we would want a title that very much goes with fucking like the entire story. So it depends on the plot. Like if Dracula wanted Frankenstein's heart or Frankenstein's monster's heart for some reason, you can call it like Hearts of Darkness. Because I mean, you got Hearts of Darkness. Because I mean, you can make the story about like fucking maybe Dracula wants Frankenstein's heart, or I keep calling him Frankenstein. Frankenstein is the fucking scientist, not the monster. Which, yeah, but it's like so embedded in pop culture that hey, that's Frankenstein. But the monster, like maybe he wants the monster's heart to replace his own, to grant himself a release from some of the weaknesses that vampires carry, Like there could be some significance there. Like when the monster was resurrected, he was given some mystical properties along with his resurrection, since he's supposed to be considered unnatural. And then we find out that the Frankenstein scientist may have also used some magic in some way to bring the monster back as well. We just didn't know. And that whole thing idea collectively could be what brings the two together. And you look at it, Dracula would be after his heart. The only way that the monster could probably kill Dracula is to pretty much take his heart. Call it Hearts of Darkness. Have I seen Creature from the Black Lagoon? That's my favorite Universal monster. I hope they remake it. I personally have not seen it. At least if I did, I saw it when I was extremely young, so I do not remember it. But I do remember him making an appearance in the Monster Squad. So you don't have Amazon Prime, I think that's likely the only place you could get it. Although now you would still have to pay one way or the other. JG being young, that was ancient times before the internet. The Dark Ages. That it was. There was no internet back then. At least if it wasn't anything like it was today. I don't think we got our real first taste of internet until like the late 90s. And even then, it was fucking snail slow compared to what we got now. Alright, so he's like shooting him in the body and it's kind of working. So you don't necessarily need headshots for these zombies. Oh no, she's getting back up. So yeah. Not getting back up, she got back up. Oh, there's literally no way he should get the fuck out of that situation. You see that cut? You see that cut? There's no fucking way he gets out of that situation at all. The 90s. Hiss. So gaming stream tonight? Maybe. It might be later on though. What is it? Almost 10 o'clock? I just gotta, pretty much after this stream, I gotta go do some things. Then I might jump back on for DBD. You never know. Go actually eat and not do it on stream. just for the fuck of it. Weren't they supposed to do a Van Helsing reboot at some point? Wasn't that, well, I guess that was supposed to be the original intent of the Dark Universe. It's 7 p.m. for you, Ranger? Well, I guess it's not too bad then for you. Exo zombies. Yeah, it's hard to say what's going on with the Dark Universe because, I mean, The Invisible Man, which was done by Universal, that was pretty successful. Granted, it's not the same Invisible Man that we know. But, I mean, who's to say? Technically, I felt like they had all the pieces that they needed for a Dark Universe already in place. They didn't need to reboot everything with new movies. Because, I mean, Gary Oldman still looks the same as he did when he played Dracula. So you could have used him as the jumping point from Bram Stoker's Dracula. fucking Robert De Niro could always come back as the monster again. Or someone finds Frankenstein's diaries, like, and recreates his experiments in the modern day. Like, there was many things that they could have did. The Mummy was a massive missed opportunity, considering what the trailer showed and how it was supposed to be horror, and it turned out to be fucking slapstick and fucking comedic. Like, and it connects to the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. Like, there was literally no need for that. Like, just go the horror route. And you could have had Aminette actually bring back Emotep. All right, so they are afraid of fire, so they're taking a bit of a page out of George Romero's book. Ooh. See, that I like. That I like. When he knocks her down to the basement and you hear that, but you don't see it, that's the shit I'm talking about. Like, the creepiness of it. Like, yeah, she's a bad guy, but you hear her pleading with the zombie in the basement, and you're like, no, don't, I'm your mother, don't. And like, when she starts like screaming and shit, like, that is that creep factor that I'm talking about. Can you picture me as Dracula? Tis merely a scratch, JG. JG, what zombies do you like better? The ones that run or the ones that are just slow walking, shambling undead? I think it depends on the tone that you're going for. If you're going like balls to the wall, like fucking trying to fucking really, really rush the characters into making shit decisions, I think the running zombies are there. If you're trying to build suspense and like really ratchet up the numbers of the zombies that you might need to take down a group of people, then you go slow shambling zombies. But both definitely have their place. Both can be scary. Shambling zombies mostly in numbers. Running zombies, you don't need as many for it to be scary. Jonathan says, I love Monster Squad. Great horror movie for kids. It was originally supposed to have a sequel with, well, Godzilla, considering Fred Decker wanted to and came close to doing an 80s Godzilla. Yeah, I remembered hearing something about that. And then I remembered they wanted to do a sequel like Freddy and Jason and stuff like that at one point. Which I don't know how that would have worked. Because you would have had to probably make that a hard R. Should I do something like that in my zombie movie? I mean, if it fits the narrative. See, this is the scene that I told you guys before. Like, look, she just like, she's holding on to him and just like lets him go. And just like, and they're just like burning the fuck out of him. Like, you hear the kids screaming. So that's something I do give this movie credit for all the cheesiness and the slow pace at the beginning. It has enough balls to kill off a kid. Like, you can hear the kid still being ripped apart. Like, you can still hear that. Like, that is something that still is like very haunting. Oh, you know me, Ty. I got several capes. I would go with the whole heart idea. Because I would want to steer away from fucking using the monster to keep, like, to make it where Dracula can have children. I would want Dracula to see the monster, see that he's also undead, but has nowhere near the same weaknesses, and wants to incorporate that into himself. They just killed him, apparently, because I don't think you see him again in the film. And with all those little kid zombies, they fucking had enough acid to melt the fuck out of them. Like an ominous fog. But yeah, Ty, I definitely think the heart would the hearts of the two should be the key. But not only that, Devin, like kid zombies can also work from an emotional standpoint, especially if the kid becomes a likable character throughout the story, and then fucking they end up turning, and the characters become apprehensive about killing the kid. Like, you didn't see that? Like, it's not pitch black in there. Yeah, this kind of gets me in the mood to want to watch Waxwork. Oh, that's haunting. And like when their acid can melt through windows, it can melt glass. Well, you can always send it to me in a message, Deb, on Discord. Yeah, exactly, Ranger, exactly. Like the emotional ties from that. So like you can blind them with a flashlight. They're kind of like the killers from DVD. And why the fuck didn't she turn on the headlights? Okay, there she is. There she goes. But it also looks like these zombies can feel pain to a degree. Or maybe they're just reacting to the punches and kicks. Oh shit. Like was that really necessary? You could have hit the brake and he would have flew off. Well, at least they don't run, though. What the fuck you mean you can't make it? You just ran like 20 feet. I mean, they're slow enough. Put her on your fucking shoulder and go. For someone that can't make it, she ran a pretty fucking far away. It's like you can't make it, but you're pulling away. Where the fuck are you going then? It's just like fucking got that typical monster wall. I know he sets fire. I don't know if he sets it outside or he sets it inside. I can't remember. Wait, they knew each other for years? Did I miss that part? I thought he just like met her like a day or two ago. Why would you send the most emotionally unstable of your group, granted it's just two of you, to go get bottles? Again, why didn't you go back there yourself? You wanted him to be quiet. Well, you know it's not one of them. Like, it's such a, even from a desperation standpoint, that's such a shit decision. Because you can know that they're getting ready to do the whole Molotov thing and everyone can get the fuck out. So it's like, you mean to tell me the zombies didn't hear any of that shit? After he was just chastising her about fucking clinging a bottle around. Yeah, I'll definitely read it after the stream, Deb. I'll let you know what I think of it. Ooh. Well, you could take the opportunity to burn them while they're all like piled up on them. Oh, we know they know how to run when there's fire involved. They literally know where to fucking go because there's a wide ass fucking window. Where the fuck did they come from? Oh shit. Again, there's literally no fucking way they should get out of that. Just some of the decisions that they're making, and it's like, yeah, you know, I want to see them do like something sensible. I mean, I get they're panicking and shit. That's hilarious, though, that the zombies get scared of the light and they're fucking going back through the window. But again, that reminds me of the show Kingdom, where those zombies that are infected with a parasite kind of deal. It's like a parasite on a plant kind of thing. Like that gets pretty much the parasite takes over the body. They don't like the warmth from the sun, except for when it turns wintertime. That's a completely different thing. I'm not going to spoil that. But when the sun comes up, they end up hiding under like bridges and houses and shit like that, and they sleep. At least the parasite sleeps. So then when the sun goes down, then they come back and they're biting and reinfecting people. Oh, you seen it, Dev? Nice, nice, nice. See, that's awesome, Dev. That's awesome, awesome. I mean, do you have the Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks? I believe he wrote it before he did World War Z. That's definitely something I'd probably look into having as pretty much inspiration. All right. And that, my friends, is Zombie. Not Zombie. I'm about to say Zombie. Fucking talking about zombies. That was Mutant. So, how did you guys like it? Or at least the ones that watched it. Yeah, sure, Dev, sure. I mean, pretty much any information I get on it, like, definitely only helps. But yeah, like, fucking, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed, like, watching that. Nicholas says it was definitely different. I told you it was different. Like, as I said, like, the two scenes that always stuck with me from that was when he drops the old woman into the basement and you hear her like, you know, like, I'm your mother, don't do that, I'm your mother, like, and you hear her screaming in the basement. That was always something that really stuck with me in horror. Like, it's, you hear but you don't see. And then when you see the kid get dragged under the stall, if you listen while the girl's getting away, he's still screaming back there. Like, he's still being ripped apart. You hear that. And that, I remember as a kid when I watched that, that stuck with me too. And that always was something about horror that I really, really, really liked. Was if you can do death scenes where it's like that, like someone's it's almost like you're that person in the other room and you hear something in the other room and you got your ear pressed to the door and you can hear like fucking maybe the argument that leads into a brutal murder, and you hear them begging and pleading. Like, you don't know what's happening, but your mind can put together some pretty fucking brutal shit. The best I could probably say as far as an example of this in most recent history is from Trick or Treat, when the one little girl that's dressed as a witch, when she leaves the kids to the undead children and she's going up that elevator, and when she's walking by, you can hear the kids still in the quarry screaming and begging for their lives, and you just hear these guttural sounds just like being ripped apart, bones snapping, and like kids just like sounding like they're just being utterly destroyed down there. And that is that kind of haunting thing that I really, really like in horror. Chuck said he enjoyed it. Nice, man. Nice, nice, nice. I've been thinking about doing some more of these obscure kind of horror movies. It was pretty good. Kind of started to drag a little, but I'm fine. I get what you mean. There's a little bit in there like, okay. We got enough of these twos, like the guy and the girl, like their relationship. We got enough of that. Let's get to the shit now. Like, I mean, we get it. Like, you like each other. You know, you've known each other. You like each other. You just fuck and get it over with, and let's get to the rest of the story. You guys are like holding shit on. Like, I totally get that, Rattle and Bones. I absolutely get that. Said make Dr. Seward an apprentice of Van Helsing. I don't know because I'm very impartial to the book. I'm very, very, very impartial to the book. So I mean, if I do anything with Dracula, I would want to stay faithful as I can to that. So all around though, I enjoyed it. Nice, man. Nice. And it's like kind of like a fucked up situation too. Like the chemical, because you look at it, it's from a chemical standpoint. Like people are dumping chemicals, and it's what's getting these people sick and creating mutants. It sounds like some shit that happens nowadays. Only people aren't turning into mutants. Nowadays, they just take bath salts. Oh man. I am glad you guys enjoyed it, man. But how's it? I thought he looked familiar. He played the cop on Tales from the Hood. I remember that because it was the guy that they end up killing. He comes back as like a ghost and shit. And it was like a couple of cops. So you hope you'll be able to find the film to watch it. Check YouTube. YouTube, you might be able to find it somewhere on there. So, well, this could be an Elseworld for Drive. Very true. Very true. Very true. Because, I mean, there are versions of Dracula that is Vlad the Impaler. There are that are not. Penny Dreadful, their version of Dracula is the body of the devil, while Lucifer is the spirit. So, like, you have that. I mean, absolutely. Like, you can totally do that. I mean, look at the Dracula series that was on Netflix, the 3-part series on there. Fairly certain he's not Vlad the Impaler on there. All right. Bring this up real quick. Jonathan says Mutant Secretly Zombie was okay, but I feel like it was kind of generic. Kind of generic, yes, I can get that as well. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's like a masterpiece or anything like that. The only thing I really take from it is, like I said, like those two particular scenes always were like haunting to me. Like with the whole grandmother, or not grandma, but the old lady going into the basement after trying to feed the guy essentially to her daughter, like that whole thing, and then the kid being dragged under the stall and hearing him scream for his life as he's being torn apart. Like those two things are something I will always take with me from the horror genre. And that, like, if I do any kind of film, movie, anything like that, TV series, film short, or anything, if I ever get into filming, you're likely going to see something very much inspired by that, just because of how much, like, I think it's effective to me. Like on the Chud movie. Yeah. All right. But that looks like that may do it for me for now. As I said, I'm going to be taking care of some shit all throughout the night because I'm likely not going to be able to sleep with Amanda going in for her surgery tomorrow. So who's to say, like, pretty much I might not be on stream again later, or I just might be playing DBD off stream. So if you see my name pop up, feel free to shoot an invite. But I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to take a quick snack, go out to the car, grab some things, and work on a thing or two here and there. If I'm not back on the night, I will be on tomorrow. That is going to happen. I have the next week off because I'm going to be taking care of my kids. I'm going to be taking care of my girl's mother, and I'm going to get some streaming in there as well while she is in the hospital. But yeah, I will definitely see you guys. Meanwhile, you guys stay safe. Have a good night. And as always, I am JG Darhk. And thanks for watching.